do me dirty, I'ma find you, lay your out on the floor. 19 with a I got rich by myself. Rather do this alone. I wasn't asking for no help. They keep asking how I'm winning with the card that I was dealt.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, setting the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Now Cousins. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Eluding the pressure right. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. Flushed out right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. They'll throw again. Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on 4th down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Ready, 22.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that that fell harmlessly to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a handoff. Johnson. Nifty move. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. But at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That goes for a gain of 31. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Johnson. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
That's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now it's Stafford. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. 5 yards gets him back near the original line of scrimmage as they'll be left with a 3rd and long.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. From the gun, Stafford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Cousins on 1st down. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison. With a great push up front, he picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Throwing is Cousins. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Throwing, Cousins, escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. A give. This is Cook. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Back near the goal line, Cousins. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out. Cousins. Open man here is Conklin. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Over the middle, he's got Treadwell. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Ball on the 30, they'll come up with a 2nd and 5. To the air again, it's Cousins. He'll buy some time right. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph, and it's 3rd and 5.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Again, it's Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. Fielded just inside the 20. Oh, look at that. And now running right through it. It's a net of 40 there. A punt of 48 and a return of 8. And Detroit getting set to go now. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Second and 10 now from the 27. Second and 10, Stafford again. Dancing to his left. And incomplete on the deep ball. He couldn't hook up with Amendola there, and it's third down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and they're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Throwing deep for Galladay. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He gets away from one. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a third down. From the gun, here's Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Well, touch and timing are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Here's Matt Weil now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
They go play action here on first down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Eric Kendricks coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Out of the gun, Stafford. Wide open receiver, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. A good pickup there, a 22. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. On first down, it's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. Here's Stafford now on second down. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes. Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too. The Lions on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. From the gun, here's Stafford. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it, and this time it results in an interception.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And past the 30 down to about the 27. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Cousins now on second down. Flush to his right. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
And while it didn't work very well on that play, defenders on 3rd and short know it's going to be a quick read. And really, the quarterback's just going to turn around and hand it off. So that way, you're able to diagnose the play and try and get to the point of attack. But when you're dealing with a fullback, it's hard to knock him backwards.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Off the play fake, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Lions have recovered. So 1:55 to go in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Following the fumble recovery, Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Jaleel Johnson with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Going long here for Wallace. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Detroit. Mike Wallace. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are in for 6. Now Matt Prater for the point after. Extra point good by Prater, and it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Now Cousins. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Cousins to throw it. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
On 3rd down, Cousins. Open man is Thielen, is complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. First down, here's Cousins. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Cousins again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll throw again. Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And Bailey able to knock it through. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Lions taking the lead to the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, Bailey now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Again, it's Johnson. Flexing his muscle at the 30. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A good run as he works his way for 9 that time, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and just a few inches. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. On the sneak, it's Stafford. And he will push forward and pick up the 1st down. He'll grab 3 yards on the play, taking it himself for the 1st down.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
180.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. We'll check on his status when we get back. They'll try the air now with Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Operating from the gun, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. And they'll go on the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Cousins from his end zone on 3rd down. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. A first down throw for Cousins. His throw incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell. That'll bring up 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Now Prater to add the PAT. Prater for the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they're going to bring it down just past the 15. And a flag down as well. This is going to put them back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Open man here is Conklin. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw. Unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And that is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 45. Here's Stafford. Forced out to his left. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Like how they started the 3rd quarter here. They forced a punt on the 1st drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their 2nd win coming out of the locker room. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the gun, Stafford. And Amendola with a catch. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. He got 29 yards that time. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a nice run by Kerryon Johnson, the rookie out of Auburn who went in the 2nd round to the Lions. And Brandon, you have to give Lions credit. They keep trying to find that running back that can be dependable for them so they don't have to use Theo Riddick as more of a 3rd down back as their primary ball carrier.
They're certainly hoping to find it in Johnson, the 2017 SEC Player of the Year. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Lions holding onto the football, and they also have the lead as we start quarter number 4.
Here we go. Four down. Set. Got a 20.
On the toss, here's Johnson. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. The Lions on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Kerryon Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to grow their lead.
Offensive offensive line coaches always tell their guys, if we score touchdowns, that means we get to the end zone first. That's exactly what those blockers did, clearing the way for their back.
Extra point good by Prater. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Cousins. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure, looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick, and he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Ben Gideon in on the stop.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
To throw on 2nd down at Stafford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Lions on 3rd down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Johnson on the counter. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
That's going left, and Prater missed it. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little, and when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate, and in doing so, sent this one off target.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 38. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. Third down here.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. Third and long for Cousins. Flushed out right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Aaron Lynch in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to fourth down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Steps away to his left. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. And this is going to be incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. Been a very strong performance for them, really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs the most recent example. And now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it, because once everyone's emotions come down, hard to start them up again. So I think he may want to keep them cranking high right here.
They pitch it out to Johnson. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. This will be spotted at the 37, so it's a 47-yard attempt. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Darius Slay with a pick. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Now Johnson. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line to hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
They go to Johnson again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The Lions on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Set! Go waiting! Go waiting!
From the gun, here's Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Prater for the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a full 8 yards. It sets them back for 2nd down. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. From the gun, here's Cousins. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me,
and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that'll cut the lead back down to 21. So despite the huge deficit, they're going to keep fighting. Here comes the onside kick. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Bailey now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Lions now. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. the practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Right back to him on first down. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it second and a foot or so. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Lions, it's a nice win to finish off what's been an ugly first half as they move to 2-6. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the difficult season continues as they drop to 1-8. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
We
want back ends. Wipe my sins. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. We want back ends. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. No new friends. Football fans. They sleep again. We wake them up. Wake up, the champs is in. Yeah. Wake up.